Welcome, beautiful souls. This is your August 2025 forecast, and we have a couple transits that we're going to look into this month for you. And we're going to start with happy birthday, Leos. I hope you have a wonderful month. August 9th with this full moon in Aquarius, and that's going to highlight your spiritual growth and development. So this is going to be a cosmic invitation to align with the collective heart. So we're getting into you becoming more aligned with the collective. So you may want to organize vision circles or sound healing that unites intentions for humanity's highest good. Okay, and let's see what else is your focus here. So we have new beginnings coming up here, so that is an excellent time for you to decide, like moving forward, that you are going to be more connected with source and the collective. And there may even be like specific things that you're thinking about doing, such as more community work, I would say. And that could be online community, it could be out in your environment community, whatever it is and whatever feels good to you. You may decide that that is more of a focus for you this month. We also have you releasing burdens, releasing like old ways of being and old strategies and old ideas and beliefs that just aren't aligning with you anymore. And we also have the Four of Pentacles here as well. So for some of you, you may struggle a little bit to let go, but this is really that opportunity for you to consider like how far you've come and be appreciative and thankful for that. So this to me is like your journey starting with gratitude and the gratitude process and just appreciation, and things will spark off from there, because as you become more appreciative of the things that you have, you're going to recognize and realize how much you have to offer to others by just being you, just existing, just you going through the experiences that you have been through. I bet there's a lot of wonderful stories that you do have that you're willing to share with the collective. So absolutely share that if and when you feel comfortable. So I do want to move to, let's see, some challenges that may come up for you this month. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups. Yeah. So you may want to delve a little more deeply into your subconscious, and if there's any it came to my mind and then I lost it, but essentially what I was trying to explain is like any work that you do, any practices that you do have to help you delve more deeply into some of the underlying concerns and thought patterns and beliefs that you allow to maybe continue to keep you stuck or stagnant, or make you feel like you're not progressing, or that you're not ready to move forward in a sense. It really is time for you to sort of delve into that area so you can balance yourself and regulate your emotions to the point that you are able to start to feel that gratitude and want to share that unconditional love with others around you, and especially with yourself. We also have the Ace of Wands here as well. So this is like you having the focus of new strategies and self-love and self-confidence and self-worth and self-value, but then maybe struggling a little bit with it. You're still, for some of you, in that process of learning who you are and learning to appreciate you again for just being you, just existing, because if there was any issues with that or anything wrong with that, or you weren't supposed to, you wouldn't. So there are no mistakes. What else? So we have the Chariot here, you allowing yourself to be divinely guided here. So that is also coming up as a little bit of a challenge here. So if you do resonate with making this a priority for you, new things are going to open, new chapters are going to open, new ideas, philosophies, understandings are going to come to you as a part of that process. Okay, so I'm going to get one more because it looks like one more will fit here, and I'm being called to do that. So what else do we have here? We have the Lovers. Interesting. Yeah, so we talked about that self-love, that self-worth, your value, your confidence, and you really getting that back and really building on that. So if you feel like you're already there, there's so much more. And again, this may be about you going under the surface a little bit. So if there's any journaling that you do or any work that you do, I keep like coming to it and then it eludes me of what I'm trying to say, but I'm really talking about like inner child healing, and it doesn't necessarily have to be with the inner child, but I can't find the words to say. So I feel like you understand what I'm saying when I say like just delve into that subconscious layer there, and you can do that through meditation or journaling to uncover like what is really there, so that you can heal that and you can come into that understanding of that you are whole and complete, and you've learned the lessons that you needed to learn, that you designed for yourself, and you can move forward. So I do want to look at, let's see, what guidance do we have here? Okay, I gotta make sure I am in the camera there. Okay, so we do have the Page of Coins here. Interesting. So this is all about new adventures and you being very enthusiastic about those new adventures. You're also willing to learn, and you are focused on your growth from a spiritual perspective. So that is really wonderful to see, and I feel like you should be proud of that as well. So some of you may have needed to transition into that space where you are, that is the new version of you, where you are highly spiritual and aligned with the collective, as we were speaking about earlier. So this is really that chance, this opportunity for you to do that this month. Also, just be very aware of overthinking things and being over analytical or over critical of yourself and your journey and your process here. Because again, you are learning and it is about the journey. So there may be some missteps. You may decide and define them as missteps, or, well, maybe I should have did this or that, or I wish I really would have came into this understanding before. But yeah, you came into that understanding exactly at the right moment in time for you, because if you had not, you may not have learned what you learned. You may not have gained that knowledge and wisdom that was so important for you to get to this place and get to the point to where you are. So nothing is a mistake, nothing is wrong, and you cannot make the wrong decision or choice moving forward either, because everything you're going to learn from and you're going to grow from. Okay, what other guidance do we have here? So we have the Emperor. Wonderful. And this may be also about you balancing out the spiritual perspectives and ideas, these new awakenings that you're experiencing here, balancing that out and figuring out how to adjust within the 3D or 3D world, your earthly experience here. So there may be a little balance here that would be beneficial to you and helpful to you. So yeah, you are very spiritual and you're expanding in that way, but you're also having a human experience. So like, don't forget about being human and, your everyday daily routines, and incorporating spirituality into those types of activities is going to be helpful. Again, just applying that balance there. All right, so what other guidance do we have? We have the Hermit here. Yeah, gaining knowledge, gaining introspection here. Definitely get those self-care practices in, and we did talk about that a little bit, and that's going to help you as challenges come up, as obstacles come your way, and even as you start to feel like maybe going back into your old beliefs, because that is your comfort zone. That's where you felt more comfortable. And I know for some, and if it doesn't resonate, then just don't take it. But it may be a little off-putting or a little scary, like when you start to see visions for the first time when you're meditating, or you start to see like things out the corner of your eye, like wait, man, you know what I'm saying? So it might be a little surprising, and again, maybe a little fearful in some ways, until you really understand like it's essentially you. It's like messages from your high, like you know what I'm trying to say here, but it's all you at the end of the day, and it may just bring about energy or thoughts, behaviors, actions, things like that that you're thinking about that need to in some way be addressed or let go of. So that is really what is coming towards you. But There's also this opportunity here to, again, just get those self-care practices in and gain some introspection, and that'll help you along the way here as you step into new beginnings and new portals, and you're leaving behind strategies and ideas that aren't true and aren't serving you. This is allowing you to connect with a higher consciousness, with other dimensions, other energies that are giving you more knowledge and more wisdom. Okay? So don't be afraid of that. Basically, I said all that to say just don't be afraid of it, and you will in time become more and more comfortable with seeing those things and connecting with those things and communicating with those types of energies. Okay? Let's see. Wonderful. Here we have the sun as the outcome, so we have a lot of good luck and prosperity and abundance and blessings coming your way. So continue to allow your mind to expand and be open, and allow yourself to be divinely guided, because it's all good things coming to you as a part of that process. Wonderful. Thank you so much. So we have be careful who and what you surround yourself with. So that is so important here, especially like you going through these spiritual, you stepping into a more authentic version of yourself and raising your vibration and frequency and expanding your spirituality. Yeah, everybody's not going to come with you on this journey, because everyone's not quite there yet. And that's not to say anything negative about them, or, you know, to say anyone is better. It's just that everyone's on their own journey, and everyone's going through things at their own pace, at their own time, and they will get there. They will get there, but it just may be that you will, your expansion is happening faster, or it's a little farther along than theirs. So just be aware of that. And anyone that doesn't want to come, that is their choice, and they have every right to do things at their own pace and at their own time. Okay. So let's get an oracle here. So we have teacher, wise one with experience. Wonderful. I love to see that, because we have, like, I'm feeling some starseeds, some light workers here. And this is really that confirmation of how and why you're gaining all of this knowledge, because this is probably very much similar, or what exactly you came here to do, to enlighten others, to support others, to be the inspiration for others, to see who they authentically are, and for us to continue to work to raise our own frequency, and that also of the collective as well. Okay, wonderful. So I am going to move to the next transit, and that would be August 12th, where Venus is conjunct Jupiter in Cancer. So this is going to highlight your love and relationships, and you're being guided to align with Divine Mother frequency through your gratitude rituals, nourishment meditations, and heartfelt offerings to loved ones or yourself. And you're being guided to let your heart soften into its expansion here. So let's see what's going to be your focus here for love and relationships. Okay, so we see some clarity coming through. There's definitely going to be some clarity. So it may be you, or it may be your partner. And if you are not with someone, I'm also hearing that this is you just understanding what you're accepting versus what you're not, what your requirements are, what your expectations are for you to be in a healthy, happy relationship, or for you to give of your time, for you to date, or to open yourself up to another. So I'm definitely seeing like a lot of clarity coming through. And again, if this is with a partner, then, you know, you or they may be coming to the table with like, yeah, these are my needs, or here's what I'm wanting to work on here. There also is going to be, so yeah, in line with the clarity coming through, this is also going to be from a spiritual perspective as well. So this is not just about like, oh, you know, I need a date night once a week. This is about like, yeah, I want to be fulfilled. I want to be nourished in my relationships. And to do that, we need to spend time together. So I'm proposing that we do 2 date nights a week or something. So it's going to come from that place of expanding the spiritual perspective and wanting needing particular things in your life and needing that reciprocation in your life when it does come to love and relationships. So we also have the High Priestess here as well. So that's even more of that spirituality coming into perspective, into play here. So what else do we have? Transformation. So this is also, excuse me, opportunity for adjustment and change. And I'm going to transition into some obstacles that may come up. So it may be just having those discussions as a part of the change process. And you, for some of you, I feel like this is going to go either way. For some of you, it's going to, go in the direction where you're both becoming more aligned. And others of you, I am seeing that you may decide like, okay, well, I may need to spend a little more time in the self-care area and giving myself what I need, and that will work itself out the exact way that it's meant to work out for each individual person. So it may be one where you decide like, yeah, I am more important. My needs are critical at this point in time, and they're just not being fulfilled. And so I'm going to go on that journey of ensuring that my needs are fulfilled. Or it could be, again, that alignment between the two of you where you decide like, yeah, we have our own things we're working on, but we're also going to commit to working on these things together to strengthen our relationship. Okay, so there's no wrong path, no wrong decision. What else may come up as a challenge? Balance. Okay. So for some of you, this is just an experience that you designed for yourself. And I'm hearing like, and I know I'm not going to say it the right way, but that saying where they say like everyone comes into your life, they're either like a blessing or a lesson or something to that effect. So I feel like, this can go either way, and it may very well be different for every individual. We're all on our own journey here, but this is really the balancing here is something that may come up. So that could show up in a variety of different ways. One we talked about earlier where, maybe one person wants to spend more time, or, it could come up in a different way. You may see that in a different way. It may be about just the communications where you may need to call on more divine masculine or divine feminine characteristics and balance those out. So we're just seeing balance come up here as a challenge. So however that would resonate with you is what you're being guided to consider to ensure that you do create that balance there. Okay, what else? So we have the Knight of Wands here. Okay, so you may find that being courageous, being bold, being surprising your partner with something here, or just being, more aligned with your authentic self and allowing that yourself to be expressed more may come up as a surprise for your partner. And, I'm sure I'm feeling like that's a good thing. So they're going to be like, oh, okay, like we want to do this, or you want to try this. That could definitely be helpful to you. But I do see these, again, we're speaking about challenges that come up here. So if you feel like you would find value in expressing yourself more and trying things and coming out of your comfort zone, then you're absolutely being guided to do that, because again, it is coming up here as a challenge. So that may be an opportunity for you to try new things and to do something new. There also may be some planning that you have, some goals that you're working towards in the relationship, and you may struggle with those as well. Okay, so that's also something that may be possible here. And you are invited to revisit those goals, okay? Revisit those goals, revisit those expectations, and talk it through together. And don't necessarily, okay. All right, don't be coming for me, but I am seeing like there may be this chance that, someone may be like, look, here's what I want, here's what I need. I'm not willing to compromise or be flexible on that. And, that is where maybe the challenge would come from for anyone that is, has that type of thinking. Because the more you open yourself up, the more you are flexible and adaptable and open to experimenting and trying different things, the better things will be the better things can end up. But if you aren't as open, you're being very closed off, you're being rigid and not being flexible, then obviously it could go in a different direction, one that you're absolutely not going to receive anything that is your preference, basically. So being open, being adaptable, being flexible to the extent that you feel comfortable and that is okay with you. All right, so give me one more here. So we have the 8 of coins. Okay, so there's definitely going to be some inspired action required as a part of this process here. And when is it not? Yeah, everything we do, it's inspired action. So you may find that, you are putting in that effort and you are putting in that work here. And for others of you, that may come up as a direct challenge for you, because you may feel like, yeah, I've been doing that. I'm the one that's always compromising. I'm the one that's always open. And so that may come up as something that you do want to talk about and you do want to work through with your partner. And others of you, again, it may be about just like, okay, we decided together that these are the things we're going to do. We're going to incorporate more date nights in, and then it may be a little bit of a challenge for you guys to do that. But it's all about what you make time for and what are your priorities and what's most important to you. Okay, so this is definitely something that you will work through with your partner, and just bringing it up because it may be a little bit of a challenge for you. But there's nothing you can't handle. There's nothing you can't do. So you got this. All right, what else do we have for love here? We have coming out. So we talked about spending a little more time there. So I gave the example of incorporating more date nights, but this could be about just other self-care practices that you do have, like getting out into nature together, going on vacation together, taking walks together, playing games together, whatever it is that you and your family do to enjoy yourselves is what you're being guided to do here. And then we have balance. Thank you. We talked about that in so many ways. So that is that confirmation there about incorporating more balance in. So I feel like this is like body, mind, and soul. So balancing yourself as a human, as well as balancing yourself in your relationships and in your communication and in the things that you do as well. I also see that we have the master number 44 there, so I am going to put a link in the description to a short on that. If you are interested, check that out. So there may be some messages there for you as well. What else do we have for love? Look deep within your heart and you will feel my love. My love is for you. My love for you is as deep as the ocean. Wonderful. And this is your higher self. I heard it very, very clearly. This is your higher self speaking to you. So you may think this is from your partner, and it could also be from your partner, but this is from your higher self. I'm going to tell you that right now. Okay. And then we also have criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. So as you are working through the contrast, working through the obstacles that come up, that is absolutely an amazing point to remember. And that's where we were talking about being open, being flexible, and willing to talk things out in a constructive way. And I'm gonna bring up the emotional intelligence, as I often do. So if you're not familiar with that, absolutely look into that and learn about that. But it just is a really, really helpful way to communicate with others and to ensure that others' needs are being considered just as much as your own needs are being considered, and that you are able to work through contrast in a constructive way that benefits both parties, and you come up with win-win solutions. Okay. All right, so let's get some oracles here. So we have creativity, inspiration, channeling. All of these things, I would consider these as self-care practices, incorporating your creativity, exploring the ideas that come to you. So there may be signs, there may be synchronicities that are happening. Look those things up. When you come across like the 44, the 1111, the 888s, when you come across those angel numbers, definitely do your best to try to remember that and look them up, because there's always knowledge and wisdom and guidance for you. And I'm even going to say, I'm also hearing that it doesn't matter what the number is. It doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't have to be repeating, but if there's just a number that you're seeing very frequently, or at any time, like even right now, you can pause this and look at the time and look up that as an angel number, and there will be messages there for you. Guaranteed. All right. So just allow yourself to connect with those messages, and then also ensure that you're incorporating more creativity into your daily routine, your work, and allow yourself to connect with those moments of inspiration that you do receive, because I'm hearing that like there's little downloads, there's little things happening in front of you. Again, those signs and synchronicities that would be very helpful for you to connect with. And they would be helpful to your gifts and talents is what I'm hearing. So if you are an artist, if you are someone that likes to draw, like you may pass something every day and you're like, oh, I like that, you know, but you haven't necessarily sat down and drew it. So it'd be like creativity coming to you in that way, little sparks of inspiration coming to you in that way. I didn't explain that the best way, but basically what I'm trying to say, like love, creativity, inspiration is all around you, and you're being guided to pay more attention to that, to be more open to that. Okay. All right, wonderful. So let's move to our last transit, and that is going to be on August 22nd with the new moon in Virgo. So you may feel guided toward integrating spiritual systems into your daily life. So little small changes in your health, work, and routines may become the gateway for your soul's evolution. You're also being guided to anchor light codes into your everyday by establishing some spiritual routines. All right, so you may want to cleanse, bless, reaffirm your intentions, especially at sunrise. So you may want to do that at sunrise and also at sunset, and just let your service be a sacred ritual. Whatever you do is specific to you and what feels good to you. But allow yourself to connect more deeply on that level. We also have the Knight of Cups here. So lots of unconditional love coming through to you. A compassion is coming up. Understanding is coming up. We also have you releasing burdens and learning your lessons. So that is really wonderful to see here. So I love to see these two together, because that is truly what that means. Like you're in that process of letting go anything that's not helpful to you, anything that's keeping you stuck and stagnant, and you're learning the lessons. You're stating, I have learned my lesson. I have moved on. That's what this means here. So that is so wonderful to see. And this in particular, I don't think I mentioned it, but this is really about highlighting career and finances here with this transit. So if there are things that you can do in your career and employment environment, then absolutely do that, because you may have a lot of contracts going on. You may also be a little worried about your position for some of you, I'm hearing. Just worried about if it's going to still be there, if you may get laid off or anything to that effect. So I can understand how, that may start to create a burden and create a little even resentment in some cases, because of all the knowledge and wisdom that you have in that field and in that industry and with that employer, and then just being a little unsure about the outcome based off of all the effort and work that you have put in and invested. So let's see, let's look at some challenges here. So we do have, it may be easier. It may be more comforting to stay in your comfort zone here. But I do feel like also with this Devil, I'm hearing like transformation and change and transition here, and you allowing yourself to again let go of the things and parts that aren't helpful to you, the people, the organizations, the places that aren't serving you, that aren't providing you with any value. And doing that is really going to be helpful to your journey and your process. So this is like letting go so that new can connect with you and come forward, and you can start to stay on the path of what your desires are. So we have the 3 of coins here as well. Work coming up, showing up here as, yeah, there may be a little bit of contrast, a little bit of challenges, a little bit of obstacles as it relates to the working environment or the work you do in some way. So it may also help you to just let go of any limiting thoughts, beliefs, behaviors, even actions that you may be doing that are just keeping you stuck. And this may also be you either like in a trade or in a degree program or receiving some sort of certification that it may not be what you're desiring, or you may have difficulty with it in some way. Okay, so really get back to your authentic self and what feels good to you and what you truly desire to do with your life, and allow that to help you to decide what is important to you as it relates to like what you want to explore career-wise. And it may also be helpful to loosen up a little bit. Don't be so serious. Don't take things so serious. And that's very easy to say, especially when you do have a little bit of turmoil going on. But if you're able to incorporate some self-care practices, or you're able to let go of some things that have happened in the past, because some of this is like things that have happened in your employment situation that you're still holding on to, you're still struggling to let go of. But this is really that time for you to let go of them, because it will come up as an obstacle. It will come up as a barrier to your progress and moving forward if you're still holding on and not able to let go. All right, so yes. With this 6 of Wands here coming up from a challenge position, it's very possible that you may be focused on things that aren't providing value, aren't helpful to you. Like, yeah, you may have been in the right in these situations or scenarios, or you may have been treated badly, or things maybe not have turned out in your way, and it's not your fault. It was not your fault, but it's really about you focusing on what you can do at this point in time in the present moment to get yourself to that neutral space of where you can start to think about, okay, how am I going to move forward here? What is going to be my focus now? What is truly important to me? And it's probably not going to be thinking about the past and thinking about what happened. It's going to be like what you're desiring. What are your dreams? What are your goals here? Okay. So let's look at guidance here. We have Temperance, yeah, creating that balance. And I'm also going to say here, I'm hearing quite clearly, connect with your intuition here, do the self-care practices, meditate, do the breath work exercises, practices, whatever it is that you do, yoga, I'm even hearing, whatever those practices are that allow you to calm the mind, to relax, to release any energy, any thoughts that again are just swirling around, not allowing you to make progress or make decisions. Get to that happy place, whatever that is for you. Okay, so quite literally it may be getting out into nature. It may have to do with water in some way, sitting at the lake, sitting at the beach, sitting at your swimming pool outside, whatever it is. Incorporate those practices in so you're able to reflect, you're able to understand the lessons, understand what it is that you need to let go of, and you can move forward. Okay, what else do we have here? Eight of Swords here. Okay, and in some cases you may feel a little powerless. You may feel like I said, that yeah, there may have been things happening or something may occur, a setback in some way that does make you feel like, okay, what do I do now? So just be prepared for that. And let's get some more information about how that can work itself out. So this is just about you readjusting your plan. Okay, so everything is happening exactly how it should. And you can utilize that moment as a shift for transformation and change, for you to be more of your authentic self. Because I'm hearing that for some of you, this is like work that you may do because of the money's great, or you may do because you've always done it and you're just very experienced there, or you may do it because you have to at this point in time. But this is about you really focusing in on your dreams, your goals, your desires, your passions, and start planning things, start planning to do things that align with that, with your passions, with your dreams, with your desires, where you ultimately want to be. Okay, so this is really that opportunity and chance for you to shift and adjust the plan here. So what else do we have? So we have the King of Coins. All right, wonderful. So whatever you're doing here, the sacrifices you're making, the changes, the adjustments, the lessons that you're learning here, the obstacles that you're experiencing here are all leading you to victory and success, and you being in a place where you do have that financial, that strong financial foundation. You've created that generational wealth and you're continuing to build upon that. So this is the outcome that we're seeing here. And you being able to provide for others in the way that feels good to you, without any stress, without any issues. You can do that freely. We also have you moving towards what fulfills you. This is what we talked about here. So thank you. That is that confirmation here of like, yeah, it is time to refocus. It's time to shift your plans, adjust. Do things that you love. Focus more on that as much as you can, because this is leading you to fulfillment and financial prosperity. I love that. Okay, let's see what else. Be willing to let go of everything you once thought to be true. Restructure your plan and let go of anything that's not helpful to you. We have you exploring the possibilities. Wonderful. This is speaking and confirming every single thing that we're talking about here. What else? The wheel will turn in your favor. Keep going. Absolutely. That is what we're saying here, that you may go through this experience here, but it's all to shift your alignment to more of you being your authentic self and you doing what you came here to do. Wonderful. So we have let it go here, more confirmation of that. Release the past, forgive. I love that, because I oftentimes forget to talk about forgiveness here. So thank you for that reminder. It's so important that you forgive yourself and others as a part of the process and allow yourself to move on. And what else? So we have healing, restoration, cure, and safety. Wonderful. So if you need to do any affirmations, any meditations as it relates to healing and knowing and trusting you are safe, absolutely do that, because that is going to be beneficial to you this month. All right, beautiful souls, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful month.